Shalom. Welcome to another live video. And as always, before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachash, and next double honors to the head apostles / elder bishops of the great millstone who teach and who rule well. Peace, blessings, and safety to all you sincere Akim. Keep pushing, keep believing, and keep the faith, regardless of what people hear or what they forbear. All right, this is a quick impromptu. All right, I gotta work all day at the plantation. Still gonna be putting up videos, but normally I try to go live at least once a day, you know. And I was thinking to myself this morning, okay, as we always ought to, about being occupied in prophecy, okay. And you know, with everything that's been going on, we've been talking about Trump, you know, the different moves he's making, and the whole alligator Alcatraz, the ICE situation. Now they're going after Southern Jakes. All right, but one prophecy that we must not forget, and the main prophecy that we're waiting on to happen, all right, before everything could really pop off, is the MOTB, okay, which is RFID microchip. The MOTB is an acronym for the mark of the beast, okay. So this is one of the most important prophecies, all right, in the scriptures. I would argue probably the most, actually. Okay, why? Because if you don't know what it is, and if you take it, you out of there. Okay, it don't matter whether you get it, you know, in your right hand, your left hand, your forehead, your left ass cheek, your foot, your toe, don't matter. All right, you take that chip anywhere within your body, you out of there, you through. Okay, so just a quick exhortation, you know, remind us to keep ourselves focused on these prophecies, man. All right, so let me bring out some precepts real quick. The book of Sirach, chapter 39. All right, and I'm on my way to the plantation now, so bear with me. And Shalom, Zakaya, Shalom. This is Sirach 39 and verse 1. Okay, it says, "But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the wisdom of all the ancient, and be occupied in prophecies." Okay, so that's our main focus. All right, our main focus is being occupied in prophecies. All right, and that's the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Let me go and get that real quick. Okay, Revelation chapter 19 and verse 10. All right, the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. So if you have somebody that is claiming themselves to be a servant of the Lord, and they don't go into prophecy, they don't break down prophecies, they're not coming in the testimony of Yahweh Shai, man. They're coming in the spirit of their own belly. Okay, this is Revelation chapter 19 and verse 10. All right, and it reads, oh, hang on, bear with me. Let's see, I just had it pulled up. Okay, boom, got it. Revelation 19 and 10. It says, "And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, See thou do it not." All right, this is John the Revelator singing angel. It says, "I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahweh Shai. Worship Yahweh, for the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy." Okay, so that's the main thing we got to be focused on. And like I said, with everything going on, all right, we've been mainly focused on the prophecies of Jacob's trouble, all right, and everything that comes with that. But once again, a major portion of Jacob's trouble, all right, is going to be the implementation of the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast. All right, and you got to prepare your mind spiritually, you know, constantly be meditating on these things. All right, separating yourself from this place, and really exercising your faith to where you're able to separate what's going on around you from what the mission is that we have. Because most people in this world, what's going to happen is, like, we talk about it now, and now that we're getting closer and closer to that day, and the elites are kind of being more open about, you know, what they're going to do. They're trying to merge man and machine via this RFID microchip. Now people are starting to realize that that's what it is. But you know, the Lord, the only way you're really going to make it through this is if the Lord has His spirit on you to overcome. Okay, let me go ahead and get a precept on that right quick. All right, and then we'll go to that prophecy so you can see what it is. I'm gonna prove that it is a physical mark. It's not talking about something spiritual. Okay, but this is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 10. All right, it says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth." Okay, so what is that hour of temptation? And Shalom, Isaiah, Idaho. Shalom, Maki, Habashim, Shabarta. All right, what is that hour of temptation? Okay, that is when all hell breaks loose. Okay, ain't no food, ain't no water, no resources, no medical supplies. And people are going to be, wanting to return back to that stability, that normalcy of life. And the only option, the only way that you're going to be able to get that without the protection of YawasapHopefulElect777 is to bow down to the beast system and to take that RFID microchip. All right, allow them to implant it inside of you. Okay, and this is the vision that John the Revelator saw, 2,000 years ago on the island of Patmos. All right, and once again, I'm going to read that one more time. Revelation 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. Okay, you remain focused on prophecy. All right, studying the word, doing what the Lord told you to do, regardless of the afflictions that come with it. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation. All right, and that's what it's going to be. Okay, in the grand scheme of things, it's a short period of time to suffer, but okay, those who overcome and don't bow down to the beast system, all right, that of the elect, the Lord is going to deliver them in those days, man. Okay, so because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Everyone is going to be tested. Everyone's going to be tried, and we're going to see what people are really made of. All right. And the Lord promised that he would deliver his elect in that day. This is Job chapter 5 and verse 17. It says, happy is the man whom the Most High correcteth. Therefore despise not thou the chastening of the Almighty. That's where it starts. Okay, that's part of the word, keeping the patience of the word of the Lord is suffering for righteousness' sake, all right, and allowing the Lord to clean you up, all right, to correct you, all right, according to the righteous instruction found in the word, man. All right, it says, for he maketh sore and bindeth up, he woundeth and his hands make whole. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Okay, and that is Esau's blessing, power of the sword. All right, he excels at killing, and he's gonna threaten you with death, and that's gonna be the time of temptation. That's gonna be the test. Okay, he's either gonna threaten you with death, or he's gonna try to starve you out. Okay, but the Lord said, I redeem you from famine, I will redeem you from death. All right, he said, my servant shall eat, my servant shall drink. Let's get a precept on that right quick. All right, Isaiah 65 and verse I'm gonna start at verse 13. It says, therefore thus saith Yahweh, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Okay, and that's what's gonna come down to, man. Okay, those who serve the Lord, they're gonna have food in that time of famine. All right, there's many instances in the scriptures where the Lord worked miracles so that men would be able to eat, like Daniel in the lion's den. He had Habakkuk. He pretty much teleported him over the lion's den to bring a meal to him. All right, Elijah was fed from doves or pigeons, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, continuing on though, it says, let me see one sec. I make sure I'm going the right place. Okay, Isaiah 65 and verse 14. It says, behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. All right, there you go. So once again, that's the reason why we go so fervently, so hard for the Lord, because that time is going to come, all right, when your relationship with the Lord is going to be life and death. All right, this is Proverbs 13 and 25, another one of my favorites. It says, the righteous eateth to the satisfying of his soul, but the belly of the wicked shall want. All right, so the Lord is going to make sure that the righteous, all right, have what they need in that time, man. Okay, let's get some precepts on the board. This is Isaiah, Idaho, Psalms 33, 18 and 19. It says, behold, the eye of Yahweh is upon them that fear him, and upon them that hope in his mercy. Verse 19, to deliver their soul from death, and to keep them alive in famine. Fire, the water for that, doc. All right, now let's go to that the main prophecy. All right, the guest of the hour. Okay, Revelation 13 and 16. And I'm gonna get this in the blue letter. All right, you guys can't see, what I'm looking at, but you go to blueletterbible.org. All right, and we'll go to that prophecy. And this website, you're able to see the Greek and Hebrew words. Okay, so blueletterbible.org, and we'll read it. Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 to 17. All right. And it reads, it says, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. All right, now you go into that word for mark, okay, it's the Greek word charagma. All right, I'll go ahead and let you listen to it. Strong's G 5480.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
All right, yep, charagma. All right, so it means, it says, from the same as Strong's G 5482, a scratch or etching, a stamp as a badge of servitude, a sculptured figure, a graven mark. All right, now when we go to let's see, now outline of biblical usage, it says a stamp and imprinted mark. A mark stamped on the forehead of the right hand is the badge of the followers of the anti-anointed. All right, it says definition 2, the mark branded upon horses. It says a thing carved, a sculpture or graven work. All right, so you go into the root word for that. Okay, further up, the root word etymology, Strong's G 5482. Okay, it's the word karax. All right, you go into that word karax. All right, it says from the root word karasso, to sharpen to a point. All right, to sharpen to a point through the ideal of scratching a stake or a palisade. All right, so you sharpen to a point. What do you get? You get a needle. Okay, so this root word, all right, for charagma, karax, and the root word for karax is karasso, to sharpen to a point a needle. This is the method of implementation that they're going to use. They're going to put it inside of you by injecting you with a needle. All right, so it's a physical mark, and without it, you will not be able to buy nor sell. All right, so without this RFID, they're going to get rid of cash, and the elites tell you this. They talk about it on the news. Certain countries already have it, and they're going to get rid of cash, and they're going to put this chip inside of you, and without it, you will not be able to buy nor sell. All right, and now we're going to read. I just pulled up to the plantation, so I'm going to read these last few precepts, and we'll close it out. Okay, this is another way how we know it's a physical mark. All right, this is Revelation chapter 16 and verse 1. It says, and I heard a great voice out of the temple saying to the 7 angels, go your ways and pour out the vials of the wrath of the Most High upon the earth. It says, verse 2, and the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast and upon them which worshipped his image. We go to that word for sore. Okay, it's the word helkos.
Strong's G 1668. Helkos. Helkos.
All right, and it says a wound, the outline of biblical usage, it's a wound producing a discharge or pus, a sore or an ulcer. Okay, so those who take that RFID microchip, it's going to be known because they're going to at the implementation site, the insertion site, there's going to be a wound that's going to get infected. And even scientists have said that those chips that they leak, I forgot exactly what it's called, but they leak some kind of chemical that can cause cancer. All right, so this is going to be part of the punishment for taking it. That's going to be how you know who has taken it. And then, all right, that's how you know it's a physical mark instead of a spiritual. All right, and then also, now we're going to read the prophecies on what's going to happen to those who take it, and we'll close it out. So, Laki, I'm back. I'm going to read this last one, and we'll close it out. Revelation 14 and 9. It says, and the third angel followed them, saying, and forehead in his right hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Okay, so if you take that chip, when the Savior returns, he's going to burn you, okay, in a nuclear fire. All right, it means you've forfeited your salvation, you forfeited your escape from this war of Armageddon, from World War III. So I'm going to close it out there. All right, that's it. Heavenly Father's will is edifying as always. We give all praise, all honor, and all glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachash. All right, until next time, Shalom, and abide b'ball. All right, keep your mind occupied in prophecy. We almost there. And that is the next major prophecy that's coming to pass, is that our temptation, the implementation of the mark of the beast. All right, the water for tuning in. And until next time, shalom.